Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking on a massive topic, but don't worry, we're going to break it all down so it makes complete sense. Looking at the Oracle Cloud ecosystem from the outside can feel pretty overwhelming, right? I mean, it's this vast, complex landscape of databases, infrastructure, middleware, and applications. But what if we thought about it like building a functional, thriving modern city? Because honestly, that's exactly what it is. In this explainer, we're going to map out the entire Oracle ecosystem together. We'll take you all the way from the underground power grid straight up to the top floor executive offices. Let's get into it.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the Oracle ecosystem. Second, deployment options. Third, core business applications. Fourth, implementing Oracle HCM. And finally, securing the environment.
Section 1. The Oracle Cloud Ecosystem, the macro view.
Okay, let's dive right into this macro view. To truly understand Oracle, we first have to categorize its vast offerings. After all, you can't just start building an office skyscraper. You need to understand the zoning and infrastructure first. Think of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI, as the power grid and the roads of our city. That's your compute and storage. Just above that, you've got middleware. This acts like the transit system connecting everything together, utilizing tools like identity management and WebLogic. Then we have engineered systems, which is the heavy industrial hardware of our city. Think of the Exadata database machine here. And finally, sitting right at the very top are the applications. These are the specialized office buildings where end users actually do their daily work, like Fusion Cloud apps.
Section 2. Cloud versus on-premises deployment, establishing the foundation.
Before a business can start utilizing any of those applications, they have to make a huge foundational decision. Where are we physically going to host all this infrastructure? Traditionally, businesses used an on-premises deployment. That means you buy the hardware and the software licenses and you host them physically at your own site. Now, that gives you incredibly deep control, but the catch is you hold literally all the responsibility for monitoring, securing, and patching it. Contrast that with the public cloud. These are subscription-based services hosted over the internet directly by Oracle. You offload a massive amount of responsibility here because Oracle handles all that back-end maintenance and security for you. But for a lot of large enterprise organizations, this choice is rarely just black and white. Most actually rely on a hybrid deployment. They might keep their older, highly customized legacy systems running on-premises, while simultaneously taking advantage of public clouds for new innovations. It's really the perfect way to bridge the gap between old and new without disrupting their day-to-day operations.
Section 3. Core Business Applications, the Fusion Cloud Suite.
So, now that we have our infrastructure sorted, let's explore those office buildings of our Oracle City. The first massive structure is Enterprise Resource Planning, better known as ERP. Think of this as the financial engine of a company. It automates incredibly complex processes. We're talking everything from core financials in the accounting hub over to procurement, all the way down to risk management and compliance. Basically, if it involves the flow of money and financial data, it lives right here in ERP. Right next door to that, we have Supply Chain and Manufacturing, or SCM. While ERP handles the financial flow, SCM is all about the physical flow. This suite manages the entire lifecycle and movement of a company's actual products. It covers supply chain planning, tracks items through order management, and even handles service logistics out in the field. Completing our core business suite, we have Human Capital Management, or HCM, and Customer Experience, known as CX. HCM is entirely about the workforce. It drives global HR, benefits, and payroll, while also housing talent management modules like succession planning. CX, on the other hand, handles absolutely everything customer-facing. It equips sales teams with automation and powers Fusion marketing. So, when you put ERP, SCM, HCM, and CX together, they form a completely interconnected digital enterprise.
Section 4. Implementing Oracle HCM, the micro view.
Okay, we've looked at the city from an airplane, so let's zoom in, get right down to street level, and see how you bring just one of these massive apps to life. You can't just flip a switch on a module like payroll and start working. There is a very strict order of operations. Step 1, you absolutely must implement Global Human Resources first. This establishes the foundational enterprise structures that every other module depends on. Once that's ready, Step 2 is creating your implementation users and assigning them the correct data roles. And finally, Step 3 is generating the setup task list, which will practically guide the rest of your deployment.
But here's the thing. Once that structure is built, it's completely empty. You have to actually move a company's existing employee data into this new system, and you do that using specific tools called data loaders. Depending on what exactly you're moving, you might just use the basic spreadsheet data loader or maybe the file-based loader for really massive volumes of data. And notice that there are also highly specialized tools, like the payroll batch loader or talent data loaders. These ensure that complex, highly sensitive records migrate over perfectly.
But what good is all that loaded data if you can't actually understand it? That's exactly where Oracle Fusion Analytics comes into play, providing distinct layers of insight. First, you have embedded analytics, which gives you actionable info right there on the screen while you're in the middle of a transaction. Then there's real-time reporting through Oracle BI for deep, fully editable analyses. And finally, interactive dashboards. These are amazing because they give executives a complete, big-picture view of organizational health at a single glance.
Now, take a second and just think about what we've just built here. We have a massive ecosystem holding private payroll data, supply chain secrets, and global financials. And it is all living in the cloud. It naturally begs a massive question. How on earth is this environment actually secured against internal and external threats?
Section 5. Securing your Oracle environment. Role-based access.
Going back to our city analogy for a moment, security dictates exactly who holds the keys to which specific rooms. The Oracle system strictly compartmentalizes access. You don't just get a blanket login. Your access is actually a combination of different profiles. A person profile dictates whose individual records you can see. An organization profile restricts you to specific departments. Job and abstract roles give you your base access depending on whether you're an employee or a manager. So for example, if you're an HR manager in London, your data roles ensure you can only see employee records for your specific jurisdiction, completely locking you out of the New York team's data.
But role-based access is really just the internal layer. System administrators are constantly performing advanced tasks behind the scenes to lock down the environment. They manage location-based access, ensuring users can only log in from whitelisted IP addresses. They configure incredibly deep audit trails to track exactly who changed what data and when they did it. They manage complex encryption certificates to secure your data while it's in transit. And for the highest level of protection, they utilize tools like Database Vault to prevent even highly privileged IT administrators from peeking at sensitive application data.
If all of that sounds incredibly complex, well, it is. But the documentation explicitly reassures us with this fantastic quote: Oracle Human Capital Management Cloud is secure as delivered. While you definitely have to configure the specific keys and roles for your unique business, the underlying architecture, the vault itself, is inherently locked down and secure from day one.
And there you have it. We've officially mapped the city. We went all the way from the macro level of cloud infrastructure and deployment options right into the core business applications. We zoomed in to see how data loaders and global structures bring a module like HCM to life. And we finished up by locking the doors with robust, role-based security. Understanding this roadmap really is the key to navigating the entire platform. So, with this bird's-eye view fresh in your mind, what part of the Oracle ecosystem are you inspired to explore and build first? Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next explainer.